At the top, Intimate Friends, Eddie Kendricks. Thank you so much for indulging me, Tom. And then we had Rosa by Uri featuring Antonia. Epic song. I loved how they melded together. If you, the listener on Spotify, have your crossfade up to 12 seconds, it would have been a beautiful little DJ mix there. At the break, Tom started chatting about cymatics and bells, and now we have on the screen here that Jaden's shared for us Borobudur. Borobudur. Butchered that. Tell me, Tom, what am I looking at?
Look, man, I don't know, bro, either myself, and I want to make that disclaimer for everything on this podcast.
Yeah, we do not know.
I do not know. I just find it really interesting, and it comes across my media. However, this thing looks to be like a ginormous high-pass filter built on like a seismic line on the earth somewhere.
Like a fault line, essentially.
Yeah. And people been trying to figure out what Borobudur is for ages, what these thing is. You can't go inside it. Everything else is like, oh no, it's a temple and it's it's an ancient burial site because you can go inside it and there's a room. This says no, you can't go inside it. So it is a huge, big structure built at a certain point, and then they've figured out that there's a certain cymatic imprint that's the same, and that's what gives the theory that this structure is soaking up that resonant frequency out of the earth because the earth's vibrating and it makes noises.
Yeah, almost like, is it like a?
It's genuinely
like a shock absorber,
mate. It's like a high pass filter. It's like a low pass. It's like an audio filter, man. A physical audio filter that's stopping a certain frequency of noise that is harmful in some way, maybe. Or that's the theory. But it's, again, Matt got me going on crazy ancient stuff or cathedrals. We're talking some smack there, but it is interesting to look at because who knows what this ginormous thing with 50,000 bells on it.
How did they build that?
Like, who's putting those bells on? Like, why is there this ginormous thing with all these bells on it? I just find it really interesting.
At PTA.listen, these are the tough questions that we want to ask. Speaking of questions, I was thinking we dive into some mailbag, and some of our friends of the show, our listeners, our buddies have sent in some questions. I was going to throw a couple out there if you're okay. Not that I don't want to go back to Borobudur, but I might have to do a bit more research to... Look,
I should do some more research too before I outlandishly say all this stuff. But like I said, it's interesting, and we should prompt, like everything, we should prompt discussion and be open-minded, and, who knows, truly. Because if you do accept that we don't know much, then this stuff's hyper interesting. Like, what's this structure doing here? Anyway, give me the questions, brother.
At Austin from Glastonbury, I'm going to dare say that bloke's from Glastonbury. He writes, assuming he's a he, have you ever cried from an electronic track, brackets, sober, closed brackets?
Thanks for the brackets.
You take me for, Austin.
Yeah, man. I only cry sober. Isn't that the whole thing?
Yeah, that's the entire question. Have you ever cried sober from an electronic track?
Gosh, I have to say, I don't think so. I can't think of an electronic track that's so touching that I cried. Like, there's a few really good electronic tracks that mean a lot to me, and I can pin at, tough times in my life, but no, nothing just straight breakdown. But maybe I should try a bit harder, because some of the electronic music that we play here is just fantastic. And I love that little aspect of our sharing, Matt. For
a track from me that I've cried to, it's not electronic. It is Truth by Kamasi Washington, which is this is probably the most recent one. Ever since having Esther, I cry all the time.
Just gets you? Oh, what? Just generally, or just to music?
Film, like even Bluey, the cricket episode. Oh, yeah. Tears.
Mate, Tears in Frozen for me the other day.
Yeah?
Yeah, bro.
What segment? What part?
Man, I think it was at the end when she does the act of love for her sister.
Yeah.
However, all through it, man. And kids' movies, like I'm the same.
Moana?
Yeah, I've actually seen Moana.
The soundtrack's beautiful.
Yeah, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, nah, I'm with you. It's weak, but there's something about when, I don't know, there's something about that human connection, sister, sibling,
Your two kids are sitting in front of you. I assume it's not you watching.
Yeah,
Frozen Solid.
nah. But again, it's not even. It is about my kids. But if they weren't there, it's the same. It's like it means something to you, or it hits you in the heart to see someone triumph or struggle, or I don't know. There's a certain flavour of it that just absolutely gets me.
Yeah, I got that in the film Everything Everywhere All at Once. Critically acclaimed. Last 2023, a couple of years ago. Amazing film, like so beautiful. And both my girls fell asleep on me. 2022, both my girls fell asleep on me, and I was just like, the second half, I was just like tears streaming. I think I had like a fairly sizable glass of Shiraz, and I was just loving it. But electronic, Austin from Glastonbury, have you ever cried from electronic track, bracket sober? Not that I can remember, but if you have a track, Austin, that you think might bring us to tears, we would love to hear it.
Send it in, please.
Will_Edwards5 merch ?
Will_Edwards5 merch is already out, brother.
Yeah, you've already seen it, my
You've
dog.
already seen it, man. You've already got it, bro.
This question was from quite a while ago. Sorry, we might bleep that one. Can you timestamp that and I'll start again?
No, that's good. Fuck it. Lol.
Brendan Burks _WA. Are you going to play any album? Are you going to do any album playthroughs?
Great question. No, I am not. But that might be a really good suggestion for
I was flirting with the idea.
Okay, good.
Maybe some like a Pink Floyd deep dive.
What you mean? Go like through the app and dive in.
And this right now is our reaction to Money into whatever.
That's a cool idea.
Great idea.
I was thinking more. You're talking about we introduce our favorite albums, talk a bit about them, then the whole album plays, then the next bit plays.
Yeah, all that stuff. No, we would break up the album.
I thought that it might be like, whoa, okay. We need some loyal audience before I start throwing out albums. Let's just start with songs. But
Brennan's feeling
I like your idea,
loyal.
Brendan. Yeah.
Chris Maston 7 writes something that I cannot read out loud. Websdale 14 writes, loving the show. Do you boys vinyl collect at all? Me, 100%.
Me, yes, but my record player hasn't been functional for a few years.
Yep.
But I've got all my favourite records in physical copy, and I actually have a bunch of Heath Ledger's records.
No way.
Yes, he's Nadia's stepbrother.
Yep.
And we got given this sort of silver medal case, and it's just got his whole record collection in there, and it's like I don't touch it too much.
Yeah.
I try and keep it.
Looked at the collection?
Yeah, I've played all the records and that.
Yeah.
Like I play them.
I don't touch it too much, but unless I touch them.
I cry all over them. But
especially the electronic tracks.
Nah, I've explored them, but it's a special item, and it's something that really I see myself
any
as
album
housing.
that stood out?
Man, he had some Tom Jones in there.
Sick.
Yeah, it was sick, and another one of my buddies showed me Tom Jones like I don't know 10 years ago. And I always liked Tom Jones. I was like, this is cool. And then when I rediscovered him in Heath's record collection, I was like, critically acclaimed. But he's got a crazy cool taste in music. Maybe I'll speak to Kim and maybe we can do a little bit of deep dive on some of his records.
Yeah, man.
Maybe
I'd love
that'd
that.
be cool.
As long as they're comfortable, that's fucking epic. Joshua DeJager, most memorable concert live music you two have seen?
Most memorable live music.
I'm really interested to hear what yours is.
I feel like I need a second to think about it, but yeah.
Mine, I saw LCD Sound System at a big day out, maybe 2011. It would have been their last show in Australia. And the intro track, Dance Yourself Clean, they played the entire intro and it was just beautiful. I was just sort of getting into them and moving out of maybe listening to heavy like indie rock rotation and moving into some more synth pop. And that show triggered a whole a whole adventure into electronic music, essentially.
That was the start.
That was the start of broadening and not being so narrow-minded. I listened to them a fair bit as that album was released and like heavy rotation on Spotify. But yeah, that triggered something. And seeing that they could create those sounds live, like you know, and then there's the drummer there, and I was relating to that. That was something pretty special. Maybe not my favourite, but something that's 100% stood out.
Well, I have done some reflecting, and I kind of got two different festivals I can talk about.
Dizzy Rascal Big Day Out?
No, it wasn't that, even though that was gangst. The first one is, we've already spoken about it on the show once before, and was Southbound in 2001 something, maybe 13 or 14, maybe 12. But went down there and it was Subtract.
Yep.
With
Heavy.
Sampha.
Yeah.
Sampha's playing 3 synths.
Yeah.
Subtract's playing a synth with his left
With a
hand.
frog in his throat.
We've talked about this. It is called the when you can play your drums.
Independence.
Independence.
Left hand, right hand, left foot, right foot.
And they're
All your brain,
singing,
cutting to 4.
playing the whole song
Cutting
of
to
that
5, singing.
great Subtract album. And that was magical into Alice in Wonderland when it was DJ set.
That was humming at the time. Yeah.
Humming, and it was like girl talk vibes.
Yeah.
Lots of different types of music all mixed in to a set. And then into Totally Enormous 6-Sync Dinosaurs.
Back to back to back.
Back to back to back. And that was one of the most magical live experiences I've had. And then in Austin City Limits with my good friend Chris and Scoey, shout out Backchat Studios.
Yeah.
There was really 2 very memorable acts from that, and it was the Gorillas, and I love the Gorillas so much, and also Zoo. Zoo put on this minimal ZHU.
Oh yeah.
Put on this like minimal techno, like really minimal, and it was so much fun, man. I couldn't have loved it more, and it was almost like it stands out as one of the best sets I've ever heard.
2 seconds, Jodo. We got a knock at the front door, my friend.
Oh, is that a mystery?
This is probably our mystery guest. That if you could let him know we're live on there. Well, the questions. Sorry to not acknowledge those shows you saw.
No, that's all right.
I got distracted there.
That's okay.
Thank you.
That meant a lot to me.
Taj Bolaz asks, when are we getting CJ on the pod? CJ the Hawks.
Siege, yeah. I think Siege will be coming up. Let me think about what time of the year it is. I'm going to say he's coming up in the next 6 weeks. I reckon he's coming up soon, man, because he is been one of the most respected musos that I've heard of since I've headed over to the East Coast. Everyone's asking about CJ, so I reckon he'll be first couple recorded in Melbourne for sure.
Man, next question, Ryan Griffiths 7135. Who's a better DJ, CJ or Ben Stratton?
Oh man, I must admit I haven't heard, but I got to go with Strats, that old school dog. He's got so much reps in him, I'm sure, and I know that he's got style and class. So I've got to back in WA boys there.
I love it. 3 questions back to back to back from bloke_nasty, which is possibly the best Instagram name I've ever seen. How do you bowl wobble seam, and what are some of your core values that define who you are? Thank you, bloke_nasty,
brother.
That one's for me. I kind of back in the day angled the seam different ways and just split my fingers a little bit and just let it do its bit. And if it wasn't working, I'd just move the seam around. I really didn't know much.
Oh,
here we go to the camera. With Dan's 6-foot ball. Just split fingers. Our special guest has arrived and he's already got a beer in his hand. That's epic.
Oh, it's going to be a good episode.
He's still going. Mate, so how do you bowl wobble seam? Just tick that off. And what are some of your core values that define who you are?
Oh, so that's on me now. Okay, well. Then.
Value creation.
Value creation, that's it.
That's a core value, is creating value.
Nah, that's what you do after you realise what your values are.
What the values are.
But man, honestly, I've thought about this a bit, and truly one of my values is fun. Like, I really value having fun with my friends and in my life. Love, care, however you want to put that, like, is big to me, and trust. Like, trust in each other, trust in that I'll do what I need to do. Or I think trust is as important as love in sort of human relationships. So I always think them to be some of my values. Amongst other, there's, you could rattle off lots of things that are important to you, but we had to do a personal trademark lots of times through my career. And, the love, trust, honesty, openness to experience is something that I really do value as well. That they're easy, But I actually think the most common one that I find is like, well, actually, no, I really like fun. Fun's good.
Yeah.
I don't want to be slugging too much, man. They should be smiling and laughing. That's a good sign.
I agree with all of them. Would you want to go to the next question from bloke_nasty? Is sparkling Shiraz the drink of Christmas? ? What's a favourite for you guys? ? X.
Sparkling Shiraz is not my drink of the summer.
No.
I'm afraid.
Yeah.
I don't love it that much. However,
That Masto loves it. Like
Does he?
Masto and Mitch Warmold is one of his best mates. They like get this rare sparkling Shiraz allocation each year. They get 3 bottles each, and they open it on, like, if they're pushing the boat out, but they also open it on Christmas morning together.
wow. Okay. Well then, man, I'm probably another ignorant statement for me. Who knows? Maybe you're ahead of the game, man. But I'm
Why don't Bloke Nasty, you reply and let us know your Christmas favourite. And the last one from Bloke Nasty before we go to a couple of tracks. If you see a wandering lost dog, how long do you try to catch him? Is it even your problem?
It's not your problem. You leave that one to the universe and you keep going, brother.
It might not even
It might not be lost.
It might not even be a dog.
We're all lost.
We haven't pre-picked any songs. We're gonna play. Actually, no. I know exactly what I'm gonna play. I'm gonna play Solange. Don't wish me well, from her mid 2000s, 2010s release. A Seat at the Table. We'll see you after these couple of tracks.